Good evening, everyone. What a crowd. I think we must have 3 following speakers who are quite exciting.
I'm not sure this mic's on.
Maybe just hold it a little closer.
Testing.
No, it's on. It's on. Stand and.
Testing, test, test.
Yeah. You guys hold on.
You want to use it?
I think that's easier.
Want to let it stand?
Yep. I propose to talk tonight about the history of the Evans family in the Bradford area. In particular, some highlights of our law firm Evans & Evans from 1894 to 2019 when I retired. My grandfather, TWGHS Evans, was born on the family farm on the 10th line of West Glenbury in 1868, 1 year after the Confederation of Canada. After 4 years of teaching in a one-room school in West Glenbury, he attended law school at Osgoode Hall in Toronto. He established his law firm in Bradford on October 13, 1894, when he was called to the bar. Granddad served the people of the community for over 60 years. He was very active in town, serving on the school board and in his church. He was a keen sportsman and was a director of the local lacrosse team, which earned a worldwide reputation, traveling to Australia in 1907 for an international competition where they won several games. 2 of the members of the team were my great-uncle Vic Graham and Bill Mark's grandfather, Gunch Reeves, who later became the sole policeman keeping law and order in Bradford for quite a few years. My father, Charles T.S. Evans, joined his father in 1926 when he was called to the bar. Like his father, he practiced for 60 years. Dad was also a sportsman, participating in lacrosse, hockey, baseball, golf, and curling. The drainage canal system around the Holland Marsh was developed between 1925 and 1930. Through Dad's varied career, he worked with the village of Beaton and with the settlers on the marsh, and he greatly valued his friendships with the farming community. Dad served as warden of Simcoe County in 1949, during which time he paid the following tribute to the marsh farmers, and I quote, "I am very happy to take this opportunity of paying tribute to those who had the vision and courage to undertake such a tremendous development as the Holland Marsh, and to those who, since that time, have by their ability and industry transformed the land of the Holland Marsh into the finest and most productive market garden area in the world." End quote. 2 of the original settlers on the marsh, John and Gretchen Van Dyke, came from Holland in 1931 and built their home and farmed in the village of Ansmerville. Their grandson, John Van Dyke, is now the chief of the South Simcoe Police Force. As the town grew, Charlie's brother, Brock, joined the firm. Like the others, he was active in the community and in the church. He enjoyed golf and curling. Dad and Brock each became president of the Simcoe County Law Association. My brother Tom joined the firm in 1958, and I followed in 1966. In his first year of practice, Tom acted for the hamlet of Cookstown in its incorporation as a village. He acted as the municipal solicitor for King Township and for the town of Bradford for many years, as well as having a busy practice in many areas of law. Tom was on the executive of the Ontario Bar Association for a number of years and served as president in 1983 He then served on the Canadian Bar Association, Canadian Bar Insurance Association for several years, 1 year as president. I should, I'm so good there. You get with me? That's when I was called the bar that picture. This picture is a family Christmas in 1954. And in the center, you see my grandfather in the very center of the picture.
Is that in there?
One over one left.
Right there, okay.
And to his left is my father, Charlie. And to his, oh, the other left. On his right, on my grandfather's right is Brock, my uncle Brock. And then standing on the right, there, my brother Tom. And I'm beside him. The others are two brothers, cousins, aunts. My mother in the middle in front of Tom. And some of you will remember these people. I served as the president of the York Region Law Association for 2 years. We then knew most of the lawyers in our regions. That would be impossible today. I was privileged to serve as a bencher on the Law Society of Ontario from 2011 to 2018. What an opportunity it was to serve with lawyers across Ontario in the governance of our profession. I don't know if I want to show another picture. This is the lawyers, my grandfather and my father on my uncle and my dad on the left, Dad Brock on the top, and Charlie below, and my grandfather. My grandfather's in the middle, the big picture, and my brother Tom, and then below Tom, the picture was taken in October 1994 on the 100th anniversary of Evans and Evans. And my dad is sitting there. He died a few months after that picture was taken. And my brother Tom and I. Here some below are some old artifacts of equipment we used to use many years ago. Now it's ancient history. But you might recognize it's the typewriter here. Okay. We have a fourth generation member of the family who is a lawyer, Elizabeth Libby Evans, a gifted lawyer who practiced in Toronto. She is the daughter of Tom and Margie Evans and the wife of Colin Grant, also a lawyer. Tom's daughter-in-law, Jane Burton Evans, wife of Charlie, is also a lawyer. It runs in the family. The five Evans lawyers in our firm have each practiced for over 50 years, a quarter of a millennium, if you stretch it out. I'd like to think that we all share the objective of everyone here, that of making this world a better place. We extend our gratitude to our clients over the generations for giving us the opportunity of serving you. The most dramatic change in the law in the last 50 years was the introduction of Canada's Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which was enacted in 1982. It gave us a new dynamic, the recognition of the rights of the people. The Charter is highly regarded, not only in Canada, but abroad. People who are oppressed have something to lean on, something to rely on. It's great for society. I would like to pay tribute to the Evans wives who stood by their men, namely my grandmother Edith Evans, my mother Sunny Evans, my stepmother Louise Evans, my aunt Martha Evans, Tom's wife Margie, and my wife Janet. We miss them all. Those other than Janet and I, and we're the only ones left in this group. I also include my aunt Betty Evans Jackson, who cared for her parents during their latter years. A huge thank you to these wonderful ladies. through my grandmother and her grandfather, Thomas Striffel, the first reeve of Bradford in 1857, we, the members of the family, the Evans family, are related to several families in Simcoe County, including Ron and Karen Mills. Karen's here. Charlie and Barbara Wilcox, Barbara's here. Evan and Dorothy Ann Wilcox. Doug and Julie Eulalie Jeffs. And on the other side of the family, Irene Brown Turner, and Eric and Joanne Brown. I guess we go on from one picture. Here, our firm was recognized by the Simcoe County Historical Association last October, and they presented us with a very nice certificate of recognition for being in practice for so many years and still being in business. The fellow beside me is Peter Wardle. He's the treasurer of the Law Society of Ontario. He's the head person in the Law Society. And one more picture, I think. Some of you may know Jim Crawford, who's also at that event. Justice Crawford, he's a judge now retired, but he practiced law with us in his early years. Disappeared. I also wish to pay tribute to the staff we have had over the generations, some serving for upwards of 50 years. They serve with professionalism and loyalty, and are crucial to any success we achieve. Some of you will know or remember Marion Fever, Lillian Coots, June Bray of Tottenham, Evelyn Stong, Karen Brown, Debbie Davies, Bernice Cook, Gloria Booth, Ranbir Singh, lawyers Roy Gordon and Jim Crawford, and many others. I became very fortunate as I was heading towards retirement in 2015 to enter into partnership with two excellent lawyers, Genevieve DeVries and Nathan Higgins. I am very humbled to count these lawyers as good friends who have a deep appreciation for the traditions of our firm, now Evans DeVries Higgins LLP, in its 130 years of existence. There ends the reading, my reading. Oh, there was Janet and me. Special birthday. And the next one. This was a murder mystery we were at our Probus Club last November, and dressed in the era of the 30s, I believe, way back.
That's it, okay.
So,
You want to entertain some questions now?
if you'd like, anyone has any questions or glad to see the end of me.
Why did your grandfather choose Bradford? Any
Well,
idea?
he was born in West Thornbury.
Oh, okay.
Bradford was in, his wife was from Bradford. And it was, of course, it was the middle of nowhere in those years. It was between Bradford and Toronto in his early years. It was farmland. There was market, and Aurora were small towns, villages, Richmond Hill, but they were all crossroads family. But during his 60 years and my father's 60 years, they saw a huge development of all that land.
Bob, would you all go to U of T to get your law degree? Or
We went to university to get to U of T for our
all of
undergrad,
you, like your grandfather,
Yeah.
your dad, and
Yeah.
okay, so
and
no.
then we went to Osgoode Hall Law School, which was separate from university. But it was the only law school in those years, between my grandfather's and my father's years. Now there are about 7 universities in Ontario which got law degrees. Anyone else? Kept you all awake?